If only they knew why these three young triplets of Accra always dressed in red, people would not mock them, they would not whisper behind their backs, and they would not turn away in confusion. In the crowded markets of Makola, where colors exploded from fabrics, fruits, and spices, the sight of the three siblings walking hand in hand, each wrapped in a bright red cloth, always drew attention. Mothers pulled their children close, old men shook their heads, and some even whispered, "There goes the cursed family." But the triplets, Kwame, Kojo, and Kweku, never answered back. They kept walking, their faces calm, their eyes carrying a secret weight that no one else could see. Years ago, when they were still little, the city had been struck by a terrible fire. It was the kind of fire that turned night into day, devouring homes, shops, and entire lives in minutes. Their family home was among those destroyed. Their mother had rushed back into the flames to save her children, wrapping them in red cloth so she could spot them quickly amidst the smoke. She managed to push them out to safety, but she never came out herself. The triplets watched their father cry in the ashes, holding only that same red fabric their mother had used. Since that day, they made a vow, they would always wear red, not for fashion, not for attention, but as a living memory of the mother who gave her life for them. But the world around them never knew this truth. In school, other children laughed. "Why do you wear red every day? Are you trying to look like warriors? Or are you afraid of colors?" The triplets stayed silent. Their father told them, "Children, let people say what they will. Red is not shame for you. It is honor, it is sacrifice, it is love." So they endured, never explaining, never defending. Their silence became their strength, though inside, the pain of misunderstanding often weighed heavily. As they grew older, the triplets became well known in Accra. One became a doctor, one became a teacher, and one became a lawyer. Still, they walked together every Sunday to church in red, heads high, their footsteps echoing their vow. And still, whispers followed. They are proud. They are strange. Maybe their family is cursed. It was only when tragedy struck again that the city finally saw the truth. One afternoon, a building near the market caught fire. Crowds screamed and scattered, but the triplets did not run. Instead, they dashed toward the smoke. Just like their mother had done for them, they wrapped children and elders in red cloth so they could spot them through the haze, guiding them to safety. People stared in shock as the triplets went in and out of the flames, their red garments visible like beacons of courage. Dozens of lives were saved that day, not because the triplets wanted glory, but because they carried their mother's spirit in every step. When the fire was finally extinguished, the crowd gathered. For the first time, people asked, "Why red? Why always red?" And at last, the triplets spoke. Their voices trembled, but their words were strong, because our mother gave her life for us wrapped in this color. Red is not our curse, it is our blessing. It reminds us that sacrifice is greater than shame, and love is stronger than death. The market grew silent. The same people who once mocked them now wept openly. Old men who had shaken their heads bowed in respect. Mothers who had pulled their children away now pushed them forward, saying, "Look, these are heroes." From that day forward, no one in Accra mocked the triplets. Instead, whenever people saw a flash of red in the streets, they whispered, "That is love walking among us." And so the triplets continued their lives, still wearing red every day, not to prove a point, but to honor a promise. They carried the weight of misunderstanding for years, but when the truth finally shone, it was brighter than any jewel. If only the world knew before. If only they understood the meaning behind the red. But then again, perhaps the lesson was stronger this way: never judge what you do not understand. For behind what looks strange, there may be a story of love so powerful it can save lives.